have a question for you. Does waiting for the cure for MS bring you hope, or does it bring you despair? I'm Jenda Tracy. I'm the founder of Women Thriving with MS, and I'm going to be talking about this topic today. But before I do, I want to let you know that Women Thriving with MS is an online community for women living with MS. It is available through the private Facebook group, which is free, through the YouTube channel, as well as online courses, membership, and coaching. I've been living with multiple sclerosis for over 11 years, and I went through this process myself of surviving to striving to thriving, and that's what I do. I am a guide in teaching you about things in order to head on that journey towards surviving all the way to thriving. So let's talk about this idea of when you think about the MS cure. Does it bring you hope or despair, or maybe a little bit of both? Just in your mind, think about what the answer to that is. Ponder that for a moment. And while you're doing that, I'd like to share a story with you. When I was diagnosed over 11 years ago, at the time, when I came out of the hospital, recovering from the left side of my body not working, my left lip was drooping, my hand could not write, and my left foot was dropped. And steroids solved that problem. But emotionally, I was a big hot mess. I had been diagnosed with MS. I was at the peak of my career. My life had completely changed. I was afraid that I'd never be able to work again. I lost my identity. My identity was all wrapped up in my work. I didn't really know who I was outside of that. And it was just a big, messy time. So I didn't have a lot of hope. And I imagine that many of you have gone through the trauma of diagnosis and did not feel hopeful, that you felt hopeless. And that's understandable. You know, I'm so sorry that that happened to you. It ain't fun. No one wants to go through that journey. Yet, when we get to this place, we get to this place of looking for solutions. I want to get rid of that MS. I want to get it out of my body. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. That's how I felt. I wasn't a person to go online and Google back then. I don't know why. I think I was just in denial. Like, hey, I'm just going to shut the door on MS and it's going to go away. That did not work out so well. No, that was a very rocky time in my life, denial. And then I thought I could buy my way through MS. I could pay for this and that, and I could just like push it out of my system, right? I could be cured. And that was the next phase for me. I'm going to get my veins blown up so that I can get blood flowing, and then I'm going to be better. The fatigue's just going to magically disappear if I go on this diet, or if I do something else. I can't even remember all the things I did. There were so many, and I really invested a lot of time and money in that. At the same time, in tandem, what was happening is that I knew that there wasn't a cure. I knew there were MS medications out there. I was a little cynical or skeptical in the beginning stages about taking MS medication. I did not want to be signed up, enlisted into a program right away. I wanted to figure things out for myself first. And I was very fortunate to have a neurologist that was willing to give me a little bit of space and time to do that. And that built trust between myself and the neurologist so that I could heed her advice as I was on this journey. And as I've said in many of my videos, when I talk about this, when I share this information, my neurologist said it can take up to 3 years of working through grief. She had noticed this from patient after patient going through this journey. And that was very helpful. So circling back to this idea of a cure, I can understand. I get it. I get that there is a desire, a hope, a wish, a longing for a cure, that would be fantastic. I would love that. I don't know if that would take away the fatigue that I have or the relapses. I don't know. I don't know, right? It's a mystery. That's for sure. Right now, where we're at, we have preventative medication. I was going to say meditation. Meditation is very helpful in terms of preventing progression as well, though, I think, in my opinion. So we have medication, but we don't have something that's a cure. Now, people have had stem cell work done. You look at Selma Blair and other people that have had the means. Many people have flown to other countries and paid $100,000 and had it done. And basically, you know, they just had their immune system wiped out. Stem cells are put in, replaced, and then, you know, it's like what happens next. The body is generating new cells and things are changing. If you look at someone like Selma Blair, it hasn't taken away the damage that MS did. So is that the cure? You know, even if there was a cure, would it take away past damage? Or would it simply just stop MS from attacking the body anymore? Who knows, right? This is the question. This is the big question, the 10, 30, 40, $50 million question. And how much would it cost for the cure? And of course, many people would be doing whatever they could financially to pay for that. Because who wouldn't want to be cured? I think it'd be fantastic. I would love that. I would certainly love it. It would be great. And coming back to the question of, does waiting for a cure for MS bring you hope or despair or both? And for me, what I have figured out in my own life, and it wasn't an easy journey at first, as I mentioned, it was very bumpy, and there are still some speed bumps along the way. But what I have discovered is that for me, I'm living now. I'm living my life now the way that I can. Now, certainly all of us on the MS spectrum are in different places in our life in terms of mobility, brain capacity, pain thresholds, all of these things, right? So yes, I've talked about getting vertigo relapses and having massive headaches, and I have had physical pain happen. And I've been very fortunate at this point in my life to still have the ability to walk and to do certain physical activities, not all that I could do before. And I'm very cognizant of the fact that there is a point in my life where I may not have that anymore, that it is possible. And when I look at my life, and I'm encouraging you to explore this as well, is what does it bring me to think about the cure, to wait for it, to actually be like, okay, I'm going to wait for the cure now. When's it coming? Come on, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. I just personally think for myself, if I were to be in that place of thinking about the cure, come on, hurry up, it's got to happen, please come, that I would just be a miserable person. I'd be miserable because my whole life would be on hold while I'm waiting for the cure, because my time and energy and my brain is like the switch is on and it's going, and it's almost craziness. And that's the thing, is when we have in our brain that urgency around something, the amygdala in the brain asks that question, am I safe? Do I matter? And if the answer is no, the whole physical system that runs down the nervous system, the vagus nervous system that runs down the body, is activated. And then it sends a message back up to the brain, no, you're not safe, and And that is very hard on the body, it's hard on the brain. And I've learned that that is not my path. That is not my path, to be hoping for something that doesn't exist currently. When it comes, hallelujah, I'll be in line for sure. You can bet on it. what comes to mind for me is this idea, the question really, are you putting your life on hold while you wait for the cure? And if your answer is yes or maybe, I want you to ponder the idea that that is not serving you. How is it having a negative impact on you? If you're feeling despair or fear or constant worry as you wait for the cure, what could that energy and time be used for that would bring you happiness, that would bring you joy, that would bring you something that you would feel much better about? Well, you know, kind of like in the background, like an operating system of a computer, it's always working, but it's not in the forefront, right? You can hear maybe a little sound from the computer. It's always working. So being aware that you would like to have a cure, acknowledging that you feel some urgency around it, that you're really longing for it, that's important to acknowledge those feelings. They're there, they're real. We don't want to negate that. You want to encourage those feelings to be there and say, yeah, I'm feeling very sad, or I'm feeling a bit of hopelessness in this moment, that there is no cure. I'm scared, I'm worried, and breathe into those feelings and acknowledge them. Absolutely, that is so important. We don't want to erase feelings, we don't want to push them away. That does not serve you. It will never serve you. This feeling and this longing that is perpetual. You wake up in the morning and you're thinking about why isn't there a cure, and you're going to bed at night and you're thinking about that, and that is the energy and flow of your day. That's going to be very damaging to your life. It's not going to help you move forward in the way that you really desire to move forward at this stage of your life. And if you are bedridden right now, my heart goes out to you. That's not an easy place. I have met women who are in that place right now, and they are strong. Even in their suffering or their despair, they are strong and motivated to shift and take action around how to, for example, do exercise, even if it's only for a couple minutes with the support of a special device. My heart is flooded with so much love and compassion, and I literally right now, if I think about this, could cry of joy for those that have gotten to the place, for those of you that have gotten to that place where, yeah, you know, life is hard, but you're moving forward, you're figuring out what can you do? What can you do in your life while you're waiting for the cure? So I encourage you to think about how you can embrace the hope of the possibility of a cure, how you can embrace it full on, and also how you can have this tenderness towards yourself, to acknowledge when you feel that despair, when you feel that sadness, when you feel that heartbreak, and then be able to let it go. And you can revisit it later. You can schedule time. You can schedule 5 minutes a day to feel despair and suffering and worry. But to have that held in your system for a long period of time is detrimental to your health. And maybe if you need support around that, and a friend isn't going to cut the mustard, you can go to therapy. You can see someone who can help you work through the deep, hard grief and losses that are real, that you are experiencing in your life. I went to therapy. I dealt with that. It doesn't mean that I don't go through cycles of grief, cycles of loss and despair when I get to a place where I'm curled up into a ball because of a vertigo relapse. But it's not long lasting, and that's what we want to ensure right? We want to ensure for you that these feelings of despair are not with you all the time. If they are, you need help. You may need to call a crisis line or get a therapist or have someone that can listen and be there for you so that you can work through that, because those feelings are real. So when you think about the cure, I'm encouraging you to embrace the idea of hope, the possibility. And I'm also encouraging you to find ways to move forward with your life. Think about things that you enjoy in your life that you can still do, and live and experience those things that make you happy, the things that are important to you, the glue that keeps you together in a way that you say, that's me. And really embrace that part of yourself, because you know what? You're not broken. You're a whole person. MS is just a piece of who you are. It may ripple into your life in many ways, but it's not who you are. It's your life situation, and it's part of your day-to-day being in this world. And when you can look at it from that perspective, then you can see I'm not broken. I'm a person with a life situation that I live with MS, and these are the things that happen as a result of having MS in my body. And I enjoy spending time with friends. I enjoy eating a good meal. I enjoy going to a movie, listening to music, doing crafts, getting out and getting some fresh air, watching a really good documentary, learning about the world, connecting with people. Even if I live remotely, I can connect these days. Yeah, so there is so much possibility in life, even in that place of uncertainty. I'm Jen DeTracy, the founder of Women Thriving with MS, and I'm a guide that coaches women that want to be able to taste, touch, feel, and experience the possibility of a desirable future. And if that's something that interests you, you can reach out to me and we can talk further and set up a time for you to receive coaching. I'm wishing you well as you embrace the things in your life that bring you hope and joy and happiness, and are able to acknowledge the feelings of despair, sadness, fear, worry, and get the support that you need. We'll see you soon. Bye now.